Hi Flosstube, my name is Christy and this is my Flosstube number one. It might be the one and only, but it's number one. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I grew up on a farm in southeastern Saskatchewan. I started stitching when I was probably around 12 or something like that. And I stitched up until my early 20s, but that's when I started to get bored with the variety of stuff that was out there, and there was other stuff that was interesting me at that point, boys and music and all that kind of stuff. So last summer, what happened is I was going to be off work because of a surgery, and I needed to find ways like I knit, so I needed to find something else to kind of keep myself busy because I was going to be kind of sitting around a lot for a couple weeks. So I thought, well, maybe I would try cross stitch again. And so I went out hunting for something interesting, and I found that there's so much more out there now, and it's also awesome. There's something for everyone, and it's fantastic. Oh, I have already spent a lot of money on patterns. And I've only been doing it for about a year again. But I'm addicted, as are most of you, so welcome to the club. Okay, well, what else can I tell you about myself? I work a boring office job, so I like to have these creative outlets to kind of keep my soul alive. What else? Oh, I'm married. My fella he's a stand-up comedian. He goes by the name of Big Daddy Taz. You can probably do a YouTube search on him and you'll find some of his funny stuff to watch. He also does motivational speaking on mental health, and he goes around to schools with an anti-bullying campaign. These are topics that are near and dear to his heart, so he spends a lot of time talking about these things because they're very important. You'll find some of that probably stuff up on YouTube as well if you go hunting for it. He came with two boys. One is in his early 20s and one is a tween. And so there's a lot of testosterone in the house sometimes. The eldest doesn't live with us currently. So what else is there? Oh, we have 2 cats, no dogs. I'd love to have a dog, but just don't have the time to devote really what we need to devote for having a dog. So we've got 2 cats. We've got Cosmo and Gracie, and I'm sure they'll make an appearance at some point. They were eyeing up this plant over here earlier because it was hanging down here and they could reach it with my setup finally. So it was Attack of the Cats or Attack of the Plants, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so I can't think of anything else to say about me because I'm not really much into talking. You'll probably get that by the end of this. Now there's a girl who spent her whole weekend by herself and didn't say a word to anything or anyone. Yes, that's me. Okay, I talked to my cats a little bit, but anyways, I'm gonna get into what I'm working on and what I've been working on, and yeah. Okay, so recently I have finished this piece by Barbara Anna, and I'm gonna bring up my information on my tablet below so that I can tell you about it. You'll have to excuse me for looking down. It is called Sweeping the Garden, and it was in the 2017 fall issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And I stitched it on 32 count Old Town Blend by R&R Reproductions with the called for colors. It was such a fun stitch. It's so adorable and quick and satisfying. Hopefully, I can't see what I'm showing you, so hopefully you can see. Is that clear? I don't know. Well, if it's not, we'll play with that later. Okay. Another piece that I recently finished was also by Barbara Anna Designs. It's called Winter Woodland Keeper, and it's from the 2017 Christmas and Winter issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And I stitched that on coffee and tea stained 32 count cream Zweigart. Is that how you say that? With the called for colors. And again, super quick and fun and adorable. So love this. Her little designs are so whimsical. Okay. This one is called Witch's Kitchen by Sub Rosa Design. Isn't that fun? Oh my god, loved stitching this. This was my first attempt at doing a little bit of over dyed threads for myself. I don't know if you can see, but that gray right there, that's what I over dyed, and I love the way it turned out. It's featured a lot in the piece, so it's a good thing I love the way it turned out. Her shirt and those apples. Ugh, loved stitching this. So again, that was Witch's Kitchen by Sub Rosa Design, and I stitched it on Picture This Plus 32 count Ancient. I swapped out most of the called for threads just because I don't, my LN, I do have an LNS, but it's way across town and I don't like to drive. Also, they don't have a huge select. She's just kind of building her business, and she doesn't have a huge selection of the fancy flosses quite yet. So hopefully she'll build that up a little bit, and then I can just walk in with my recipe, my pattern, and I can just pull the stuff I need, and it'd be great. And if not, well, I guess I'll just continue playing with over dyeing my own flosses. But again, isn't that adorable? I love it so much. Okay. This next one is called Pumpkin Thieves by Madame Chantilly. It's a big one. Whoop, I hope I get it all into the shot because I can't see. And aren't the cats adorable? I love the cats. So this one I stitched on 32 count Zweigart Antique Ivory, and I swapped out 4 out of the 6 colors just because they didn't really seem quite as bright and cheerful as it did in the pattern photo. And I was looking for something kind of bright and cheerful with this one. So I think bright and cheerful, yep, nailed it. Um, I find it very difficult to swap out my own colors on things just because I'm not great with color. I know what I like when I see it, but kind of bringing stuff together is sometimes very intimidating for me, especially when I'm putting this amount of time into something. But I just gotta let it go. So one thing I learned on this is that not all patterns will tell you how many skeins that you need. So I had an old skein, a full skein of this kind of aqua blue color in my stash, so I pulled it out and I used it. However, it was older, and I got part way done and I realized I wasn't going to have enough, and so I went and bought a new skein, and of course it didn't match, so rip it. It took a long time. Anyways, it's done. It's beautiful. I love it. Like, seriously, look at those cats. And the cat skull and crossbones. Oh my god. Love it. Makes me so happy. Is there anything else I wanted to say about that? Oh, you'll probably want to buy, if you do this pattern, also buy a second of the brown, a second skein of the brown. So 2 of the blimp color and 2 of the brown color. So. Okay. So this next one was, it is called Round Robin by Doreen Jones, and the pattern is from the Cross Stitch Crazy magazine, Christmas 2016, and I used the called for flosses. I just love the colors in this. Like, turned out so good. Love it. I kind of want to finish it the way they did it in the magazine. So they just keep it in the hoop. I think they painted the hoop kind of like a color similar to this, or a light green or something like that. And then they used a similar toned bobble trim around the edge. So I'll probably, again, I can't just walk in a store and find the trim that I need. So I got to order it online. I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet, but isn't that fantastic? So it's all DMC, and it's stitched on 28 count antique white Lugana. And I really liked stitching on the Lugana. Normally I stitch on, since I restarted, I've been stitching on linen. And I can see a definite purpose for using the Lugana for stuff where there's, a lot of like full coverage kind of stuff. It's very easy to see the holes. And so yeah, love it. This was my first piece that I stitched when I got back into it last summer, and I've actually FFO'd it just in a frame that I got at Michael's. It is called Peace and Plenty from Scattered Seed Samplers, and it was designed by Tammy Black. I stitched it on 36 count straw linen from Weeks Dye Works with needlepoint ink silk floss. And yeah, so when I jump in, I really jump in. Let's go straight to 36 count linen. Never stitched on linen before, but let's go straight to 36 count linen. But I loved it. I stitched it sitting out on my patio all summer, and so I had great natural light, and I have since picked up like little clip-on magnifiers that I just put on my glasses to make it easier to see this kind of stuff. But yeah, I love. So happy with it. Okay. The other FFO piece that I have is called Cinnamon Stars by Plum Street Sampler. Let me just get my information up. Okay, so I've FFO'd this one in a frame from, I just picked it up at Marshall's. It's just like a $15 frame. It's a nice light blue, kind of not exactly the tone you see in the image here. I've got a bright kind of coral colored wall that away, and it reflects a lot of that tone over in this direction, so you'll get a little bit of that as I'm recording. So yeah, this one is, again, it's Cinnamon Stars by Plum Street Samplers, and it is on 36 count Old Town blend by R&R Reproductions, and I used the called for threads. I did change the color of that fence to like a white, whatever, it was the gassed oatmeal in that the pattern already called for the house. So I changed that fence to that color just because the color, the called for color that I had for the fence, it wasn't going to show up on my linen. And what else? Oh yeah, so this star here was supposed to be an initial, but I'm not so into initials on my pieces, so I just kind of concocted another star to put there. I really like it. See? My favorite part, of course, is this here. Love that. If I could get my chimney to do that, oh, awesome. Okay. So, what else? I'm working on 2 pieces. One is at work, and if I can figure out how to pop in a photo of it, I'll try, but I doubt that I'm going to do that. You'll probably only see it when I'm done. If I decide to continue with Flosstube, I don't know. But my at-home project right now is October 31st by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. So, and I did some more of my own overdyes for this. So far, I'm just starting with one of them, and she's a little crooked in my IQ snap. You'll have to pardon me. So, my overdyed is, one of them is the color that I'm using for the trees, and I don't know if you can see the variegation in there. It's pretty subtle, but I really like it. So I didn't remember to grab all the information that I need to tell you what colors I used as the base for this, for my overdyes. I'll probably eventually post that in, sorry, I've got a mosquito bite on my ankle. I will probably eventually post that in my Instagram when I post my finished piece. So I'm not big into social media. I kind of suck at it, quite frankly. But I do use Instagram. I found Instagram was a great resource when I was trying to research the pieces that I wanted to stitch and the designers and like what they have out there, because quite often when you're looking for online shopping, the pictures can be so little, and even if you expand them out, they tend to be grainy or fuzzy and just, I don't know, not great. So I found that Instagram, you could get wonderful close-ups of what people were stitching, and you got like information on what they did different, or the fabrics that they changed, or, you know, the flosses that they changed. And I found it such a great resource. It was kind of acting for me the way Ravelry does for knitting. I wish there was something like Ravelry for cross stitch. I don't have the skills to make it, but if somebody does, that would be fantastic. So yeah, so I do post on Instagram. You'll find me under the name Sarcygurl, Sarcygurl, and that's about the only online persona presence that I have. You can come find me, and if you have any questions, you can chat me up there. I think that's about all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll be back, but we'll see.